Hey guys! This is Argil here, and I know it's been a little while since I made a video, but trust me when I say that I have lots and lots and lots of awesome updates in this video, and a lot of them I have already mentioned on Flickr, so if you guys follow me there, then you might have heard most if not all of these things already. But yes, I am desperately in need of an update video because quite a lot of things have actually happened. If you guys don't know, they're pretty darn important. So yes, I've just been super busy with commissions and stuff like that recently, so I just haven't had quite as much time to sort of make videos and stuff, and I'm also trying to, I have some new ideas for sort of like video series, quote unquote, for this channel that I'm working on, and they're just taking a bit of time to sort of work everything out, and also the content for those also take quite a bit of time, if that makes sense. But there will be some pretty cool things in the future, but that's beside the point. And this video is just going to be just sort of updates, very important and awesome updates this particular time, but it's probably going to get kind of long, so if you guys don't like long videos, then I'm sorry, but they all are very important updates, and if you skip some of my videos because they're long, this is probably not one to skip. But anyway, yes, so first of all, I should go ahead and say that I actually have Shu here in the video. Hopefully the video quality is alright. I have been trying desperately to find a setup that works, and it's been very hard. But I have Shu here, who is, of course, my Soom OE Serin on a Unoa body that I have blushed to match. And he is actually wearing a super awesome cute little shirt that I actually made myself. I'm super happy that I actually was able to make it. I was just super in the mood to sew a little while back, and I don't know why, because I'm not very good at sewing and I just usually have no inspiration for it since it frustrates me, but I just had the inspiration, the desire to sew a little while back, and I kid you not, I spent like 2 whole days trying to sew something decent, and I wound up with this super awesome little blouse for Shu. You can't really see it, but it has like a little Peter Pan color and these cute little stars on the side and a little bow, and it came out really nice. I'm very happy with it. Again, if you guys want to see that a little bit better, I have pictures on my Flickr of it, so I will link you to that. But yes, he is wearing something that I made. Yay! That's crazy. I'm not all that great at sewing, but slowly but surely I've been trying to learn. It's been a hard process, and especially since I don't have a lot of time, it's been more difficult. But I'm very happy with this. It looks super cute on him. It suits him so well, just color-wise, and yeah. But anyway, he is also here because the updates that I have are actually, they're not about him, but they're definitely relevant to him, let's just say that. So yes, if you guys, again, if you guys follow me on Flickr, you guys probably already know this, but if you don't, it's gonna be kind of a big one, so sit down. But I actually have, technically I have 2 new dolls on order right now. Yes, technically I sort of count them as being 2. The first of which, oh, I should preface this by these make me super happy, and I'm just so excited because these are things that I've wanted in this hobby for so long, and oh, I'm just so happy. So anyway, let me get my thoughts together here. The first doll that I have on order, quote unquote doll, is actually going to just be a floating head for a while. But it is a sculpt that I have been in love with ever since I first saw it. I absolutely adore this sculpt so much, and it's from a company that is very small. It's an artist doll, and it is usually very difficult to get a hold of this particular artist's dolls, and I had always wanted this sculpt so much, but I thought, I just sort of put it out of my mind because I thought that I would never be able to find one, and it would just be impossible. It was just one of those like holy grail sort of dolls that, like, I never thought that I would ever own, so I just sort of put it out of my mind. Well, the opportunity actually came recently to actually order this doll and for international people not in the country of where the artist is located. And I was just like, oh my god, this is not real, oh my god. I was so happy. And I really had no idea at first. Like, at first I really didn't know exactly who I would want this particular doll, this face sculpt to be. I just have been in love with it for so long, and I saw the opportunity that, you know, to get it, and I was like, if it's possible, I just have to get this sculpt because I love it so much, and I may never get this opportunity ever again, and I don't know who they are yet, but I will figure it out. That kind of mentality. Well, after looking up some pictures of this sculpt, just sort of like, you know, just seeing some like artist face-ups for this sculpt, and just sort of seeing some different looks for it. That's always a great way for me to sort of see if a sculpt will work for me, is if I see how other people have painted it, to see the different like expressions and styles that it can possibly have. That's always an awesome way for me to sort of like really see the potential in a sculpt, if that makes sense. So I did that for this particular sculpt, and I was just like so just taken back and just so happy, because I realized that this sculpt would be it's the absolute perfect sculpt for a character that I've actually already had as a doll before. If you guys don't know, I did sell one of my dolls quite a while back now. If you guys have been subscribing to me for quite a long time, then you guys might know who this was. But my previously owned Dear Mine Rachel, who was, when I originally got them, meant to be my character Calliope. Well, that doll didn't work out for that character, and it didn't work out for another character that I had as well, and I ended up parting with it with the full intention of reshelling their original character again in the future, since it's a character that is very important to Shu here, for example, and also to my other unicorn characters. She is a very important character in my story, like one of the main characters, if you will. So it was always my intention to sort of reshell her as a doll. I had a few ideas for what sculpt I would reshell her as, but I was never like 100% like, yes. You know what I mean? You guys who are in the hobby probably know that sometimes you can kind of like you can see a few sculpts and you think they might work for a character, but then all of a sudden you see that one sculpt, and you see it and you can't unsee your character in it. Like, it's 100% that sculpt is that character. And for me, that's always been the case with Euclid, who is my minifee Luca. I always see that sculpt as Euclid. I've always saw them as that sculpt. It's never been a different sculpt. It's always been that way. And I absolutely love them. And this finally happened for Calliope. I finally found that perfect, like, yes sculpt for her. And that is, of course, the sculpt that I was just talking about, which is a Flower and Junior Yabi. And again, I don't know if you know this company or you know this sculpt, because it's a rather small company, technically like an artist doll, you could say, since it's just one person that makes all of these sculpts, who is an amazing artist, an amazing sculptor, by the way. I freaking adore their aesthetic and their art, and oh my god, they're freaking amazing. And I've always wanted a doll from them, since I just adore their style so much, and I'm so happy that I actually am able to own this sculpt, and that it's perfect for Calliope. It's so, it's so crazy to me to think that, like, I never considered this sculpt for her in the past, and I guess part of, or most of the reason that I hadn't was because I thought I would never get the chance to own this sculpt. So I just sort of put it out of my mind, but revisiting it again with the actual possibility of ordering it and seeing different face-ups on it, I just realized that it's the absolute perfect sculpt for Calliope. It has the perfect little mouth. It has like a sort of, you guys have probably seen drawings of my character Calliope before, and she has a very sort of distinct, exotic kind of look, but also like ridiculously beautiful, if that makes sense. Calliope is supposed to be like this exotic sort of most beautiful girl that anyone has ever laid their eyes on, if that makes sense. Like, not like traditionally beautiful, so to speak, but like exotically beautiful. And I think this sculpt is like so perfect. It has a sort of eye shape, sort of like down-turning eyes, and the cute little like small rounded nose, and like the like wider lips. Oh, it's the little pointy down-turning ears. It's so perfect. I'm so happy. Ooh. So I have ordered that particular head sculpt for Calliope, and I'm so nervous but so excited about it. I think it will be absolutely perfect for her, but of course I can't say for certain until I actually see it in person and compare it next to Shu and all that, but I'm hoping that it'll be perfect because I can't see how it wouldn't be. Ooh, I'm crossing all my fingers and toes. I think it will be absolutely amazing, and I'm so excited. I have said in the past that I had intended to, when I reshelled Calliope, that I would be getting her the Minifee Moe line body, and I entirely intend to still do that. I just don't have the funds right now. But that is ideally what I would like to get her in the future. Yes, I'm super excited whenever that happens. I have to get quite a few bodies actually, so we'll have to save for that in the future, but that'll be in the future. Because in addition to that, I swear everything has all been happening at once. In addition to that, I have another technical doll on order. And this one is actually not just a head, but like technically a full doll. And again, if you guys don't follow me on Flickr and stuff like that, this might, I don't know, this might seem kind of like, whoa. I did make a video about this previously, but if you didn't watch it, then you're probably like, what? But in my previous video, I did talk all about my character Euclid and about the new Minifee fairy line, their seahorse girl named Sia. I was talking all about that and how it's the absolute perfect thing for Euclid, the sort of like, I've wanted a sort of mermaid, quote-unquote, mertail for Euclid since the dawn of time for me in this hobby. Ever since I got into the hobby and decided on a Minifee Luca for Euclid, I have wanted to, at some point in the future, whether it was a year or 10 years later, at some point I knew that I wanted them to have a sort of mertail, because it's part of their character, and it always has been. It's not something that came out of nowhere, it's always been part of their character. And I just never really settled on a very specific design for it, so it was always kind of like, if I ever find something in the dolly world that would work for it, then that would be perfect for that character. And Sephi, leave him alone. My cat Sephi is in here right now. I usually never have him in here with me, but right now I have to, and he is being a jerk and spying on my hamster. You're being a jerk. Anyway, do you want to meow? No, of course not. He just wants to walk around, not meow. Anyway, so yes, long story short, since I already explained it in that previous video, I was actually able to get the seahorse body for Euclid. Oh my god, I'm so excited about it because I was able to get the seahorse tail, of course, and also the new fairy line body as well. So I will also be able to have Euclid in human form and also in their like sort of seahorse form as well. I can change them at will, which is super awesome. I also got the human arms, so they can be almost completely human aside from their unicorn horn, of course, or I can have them with the fin arms and the sort of seahorse tail and have them all just sort of decked out. So I am so excited about that. It was nonsense. It was absolute chaos and nonsense when Fairyline Sia was released. Fairyland's site was down and it was broken and it was just way too many people all at once, and DDE, once they had the information, it was, a lot of their information was wrong, and the price calculators was wrong. There was so much craziness going on, but I wanted this so bad. Again, if you guys watched my previous video, then you know, so I don't have to reiterate it too much, but this is something that I've wanted in the hobby for so long, and this, the seahorse idea was so perfect for Euclid. And stop walking on this paper! Stop it! Go away! Seffi's being a butt. He's walking on some wrapping paper. Anyway, get off! He's such a butt. That's why I don't have him in my videos. Yeah, he's just looking at me now. You're distracting me! Anyway, yes, so I was able to order Fairyline Sia, like, right when it was released, despite all of the problems. I ordered through DDE, and my order did go through, so I was one of the lucky 300 able to snag her. And they didn't actually have the tail color options that I wanted. Again, if you watched my previous video, I did mention there was two things that were kind of like, I was kind of worried about whether or not they would have the options that I wanted. The first of which is whether or not they would have had the tail color that I wanted, and the second of which was the bust options that they had available. I totally lucked out as far as busts are concerned, because Fairyland is super, super awesome, and they actually, when you order any Fairyline doll or Fairyline Sia, they gave you a free gift option of two different types of busts. I don't remember exactly which one the other one is, but one of them was the cutie bust from the original A-line body, which is what the Fairyline body is modeled after, which is of course what Euclid had previously. They had the A-line body with the cutie bust. So that was really cool, because I'd always debated whether or not I wanted to modify their current bust to be a little bit more flat. Again, I've explained all this before, so I don't want to take too much time on it. But also, because of all the craziness that happened with Fairyland's site and the ordering and all of the problems that it caused for so many people, Fairyland was actually super, super awesome and gave us another gift, which is a unreleased male type torso for the Fairyline body as a sort of gift, a sort of like, you know, we're sorry for the problems that they had during their release. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my god! I was so, so, so excited. We don't know what it looks like yet, so I can't say for certain that it'll be perfect for what I want. But since I had already intended on modifying Euclid's chest to be more flat, since they're flat-chested, regardless of what their actual gender is, they're flat-chested. So the option of having a male torso is actually super, super awesome to me, because if it's more like the Moe line boy torso, that would be perfect. That would be like the best thing ever. I would just cry of happiness if it like fits on that body and it works and it's that looking that. That would be so perfect for Euclid. I swear if that works out, I will be just the happiest person ever, because I cannot believe how awesomely things worked out in the end. Just, I can't even words. But the other thing that I was worried about initially was the tail color options for the seahorse body. And this is the only thing that kind of is a little bit sad for me. The only thing I'm disappointed about, because everything else worked out so amazingly. I feel bad complaining about this because everything has worked out so awesomely, but if there's one thing that I had to complain about, or sort of like, that I'm not completely happy with, it's that they didn't really have the tail color options that I was hoping for. They actually had a lot of options that we didn't expect, but none of them were really what I was hoping for or wanting, so that was kind of a bummer. I really just wanted the option of having the tail just completely white, like the skin tone that I ordered the rest of them in, because of course Euclid is a beautiful white skin. So I got their Fairyline body in that color, and I had really wished that they had the option of having the tail cast in the exact same color, because usually that's the case when it comes to fantasy dolls, is they'll have the option of everything being cast all the same. But of course they didn't. And they had the options of pastel mint, pastel pink, a sort of transparent blue, and a transparent sort of coral red pinkish color. And none of these were what I wanted for Euclid at all. Pink is definitely not what I wanted at all. So of course the two pink ones were completely out. I think I mentioned it briefly in my previous video, but even though Euclid's face-up actually has pink on it currently, the only reason that I actually did that was because I didn't feel skilled enough using the color palette that Euclid is supposed to have. So I kind of just used pink because it's easy. I kind of cheated on their face-up originally, but Euclid actually does not have a lot of pink in their face-up or in their color scheme at all. It's more so purple and black and silver, gray, and a little bit of blue. So pink was definitely not going to work for them at all. So the other two options, of course, were the pastel mint color or the sort of transparent, sort of turquoise-ish kind of blue color thing. Yeah, it was between those two for me since I had no other options. And I decided that the pastel mint was the lesser of the two evils, just because I think, for what I have in mind, which I will make another video about explaining what I have in mind for them, for what I have in mind for their painting for their tail, I think I might end up painting over all of it. And I think the way it worked in my mind was that the pastel mint would be the easiest to paint over, because it's a really light color if I decide to do that. I might end up incorporating it into their color scheme a little bit, since it's not like super offensive to their color scheme. I don't know. If it's the same color mint as my May, then I might end up keeping some of it actually like visible. But we will see. If it's more green, then probably not. So that was the only thing I was kind of disappointed about. I had really wished there was the option of white or purple or black would have been amazing. But that didn't happen. So we will see how that develops. I have a lot of awesome ideas for it. But I might end up painting over all of the mint color. We will see, we will see, we will see. I don't know yet. But it's very, very exciting, and I'm so, so happy. I can't wait to see the male bust piece, if I want to use that, or if I want to use the cutie bust and just modify it a little bit. I'm so excited. I can't wait. So Euclid right now is actually just a floating head. They are just chilling out. They don't have a body currently because I did actually sell their previous one. And I mentioned that in my previous video as to why I was doing that. Because the fairy line body that is compatible with the seahorse lower body is actually modeled exactly like the A-line girl body, which is what Euclid previously had. Which I really liked that body for them. The only thing that I didn't really like was that the cutie bust wasn't completely flat. And so I had somewhat planned on modifying it or just giving them the minifee moe line boy body. So with the option of actually having my dream for Euclid, the seahorse awesome mertail, on the A-line body, it worked out perfectly because I can either modify the cutie bust like I intended to do on their previous body, or I can use the male option, the male torso piece option. So we will see. I'm just super excited, but that will of course mean that Euclid will not have a body for at least a few months, so boo, I can't take pictures of you. But I plan on redoing their face up anyway, so I will probably just end up waiting until their new body arrives and painting all of that at once, which will be a big, huge project, but I am so excited for it. You guys have no idea. So yes, this video has already gotten very long, so yeah, I think I will leave it off here as far as updates of actual dolls that I have ordered. I do have one other thing that I want to talk about, which I haven't mentioned on Flickr or anywhere else yet, but I want to talk about it. So I will make a separate video actually talking about that right here in a second. But thank you guys so very much for watching this. I'm so excited for all of these things. I will let you guys know, of course, when they actually ship, and I will show them to you, even though, of course, Calliope will not have a body for a while, and Euclid won't be put together again until their body arrives. So yeah, but I will definitely tell you guys, of course, keep you updated on all this awesome stuff, and I'm just, this is gonna be so awesome. I'm so happy that, like, how do I explain it? I'm so happy that my characters are coming together so much better than I had ever hoped for. Like, when I first joined this hobby, like, I thought that being able to create Shu as a doll would have been impossible. And just, you know, from learning new skills in this hobby, and just from new sculpts being released and things changing and all that kind of stuff, it's awesome to see, like, how I've been able to, slowly but surely, I'm able to sort of flesh out their characters as dolls so much better than I had ever thought I would be able to. And it's an amazing feeling. I'm so happy about it. It's just, I'm on cloud 9 right now. So anyway, thank you guys so very much for watching. I'll be right back with one more video. One more awesome video. Hopefully. We'll see.